I want to thank, I even wrote it out, I want to thank His Holiness Pope Francis and the Holy See for bestowing this honor on me and recognizing the work that I have done behind the scenes. Actually, for recognizing all of our work, but the work that I have done behind the scenes. I want to thank Archbishop Gallagher for being here. Thank you. It is an honor, really, to have you do this. And my friend Archbishop Auza, thank you so much. You know, Gary, as he said, Gary and I have worked as a team, and for this to be the first time that a husband and wife have been knighted together and raised to this rank is incredible. And we're Jewish, and I am one of the first Jewish women and first woman to be knighted to this order. I will try to do my best to honor this, and I thank you all for coming. Really, you guys are.
E federatis civitatibus Americae septentrionalis, a magna cruce equitem ordinis sancti Gregori maligimus facimus ac renunciamus. Tibi proinde facultatem tribuimus maximi etiam moduli nosum pectoris lateri gestandi, nec non privilegiis omnibus utendi, quae cum hac dignitate sunt coniuncta. Datum Rome.
I, Francis, Pope, having found you to be worthy of the highest merits from the Church, and with your cooperation, would like to show in the most conspicuous way possible a witness of our goodwill toward you. And I choose, decree, and announce you, Gary Lewis Krupp, of the United States of America, to be a Knight of the Great Cross of the Order of St. Gregory the Great from the civil class, and bestow upon you the right to wear the silver medal in the highest order above the left breast, notwithstanding all the other privileges that come connected to this dignity, given in Rome before the tomb of St. Peter on the 18th of the month of June in the year 2018, Pietro Cardinal Parolin, Secretary of State.
To seeing Archbishop. This all belongs to you. Really, I cannot stress that more strongly. It's just it belongs to all the work of this. But I'm going to finalize this by saying my chairman, Elliot Hirschberg, is right here. None of this would happen if Elliot were not here, as he has supplied us with 70% of our funding for 12, 15 years now in accomplishing this. And I'm going to tell you that we can give you dozens of examples of how we've interceded when there's been erroneous news reports and members of this venerable institution that the Roman Catholic Church supplies more health care, benevolence acts of charity, and education than any institution in human history, and has done this selflessly for 2,000 years. It has humans in it, and humans have frailties, and they have problems and everything, but nobody ever looks at the benevolence of this institution. The Catholic Church is following the teachings of Jesus Christ, which are the teachings of Judaism, in charity and education and so on. Nobody does it better. So I tell Catholics, aside from that, when we give lectures on Pius XII, is defend your church. Don't sit there and let people say anything. Don't let reports be written against it. Also, defend Pius XII, who, by the way, since 2006, we've been working on that. Yad Vashem has officially changed their position on Pius XII. And once we encourage the archives to be open for the... Once the archives are open, it's going to be a flood of everybody coming around, because all the people that have caught... Aside from everything else, Mary has always been... This is what I'm so thrilled about. She's always been by my side. And everywhere we have our accountants here and our auditors, every taxi cab receipt, she writes down every penny we spend, everything. She is absolutely religious about that, taking care of that. And I certainly can't do it, but she does all of this, and she's done it fantastic. And the thing is, I'm particularly proud of this because we know the song "Wind Between the Wind Between Your Wings." Too many times today, we have a joke. We say that behind every successful man is a shocked mother-in-law. But there's somebody like Mary who never ever wants to come out, and too many times the women in our lives are not really given the gratitude and the awards that we get. She's been very, very happy every time I was knighted, which is now the third time. She's been very happy and proud of it, but I'm very proud of the fact that she has this. So if I forgot anybody, I apologize, because I try to remember, and I take notes, and I try to remember everything, and I never read the notes. So.
His Excellency the Archbishop is free, and Gary and Meredith also could free this evening. And so we call that divine providence. And as we end this formal ceremony, I would like to invite you to return to your glasses.
To start our program, I'd like to introduce the Apostolic Nuncio and Permanent Observer of the Holy See of the United Nations, Archbishop Bernardito Auza.
I would like to request some of you would like to stand over here so that you would feel more comfortable. See the other side. Your Excellency, Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher, the Holy See's Secretary for Relations with States, Excellencies, distinguished guests of Gary and Meredith, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence this evening. And I have pleasure in welcoming you to the House of the Pope in New York. This is the residence of the Permanent Observer Mission of the Holy See to the United Nations. And I believe it is such a fitting setting for this evening's ceremony, during which His Excellency the Archbishop will confer upon Gary and Meredith Krupp a truly exceptional honor that Pope Francis bestows upon them. And it is most fitting that an authority from the Holy See, Archbishop Gallagher, has come all the way from the Vatican to confer the pontifical knighthood to Meredith and Gary. The Archbishop has been with us for a week because there's so many meetings at the United Nations, and especially the general debate of the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly. I am pleased to announce to you that His Holiness Pope Francis has elevated Mr. Gary Lewis Krupp from the rank of Knight Commander with the Silver Star of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great to the rank of Knight of the Grand Cross, the highest rank, of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great. At the same time, the Holy Father has conferred upon Mrs. Meredith Sue Krupp the same honor conferred to Mr. Krupp, making her Dame of the Grand Cross of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great. The Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great was established on 1st of September in 1831 by Pope Gregory XVI. It is named after Pope Gregory the Great, who was Pope from 590 to 604. Among his many tremendous works for which he earned the title the Great was the evangelization of the pagan Anglo-Saxons of England. Thus, it is doubly fitting that Archbishop Gallagher, a descendant of those pagan Anglo-Saxons, evangelized by St. Augustine of Canterbury, sent by Pope Gregory the Great, is here with us to confer the honor upon Gary and Meredith. The Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great is bestowed on Catholic men and women, and only in very rare cases to non-Catholics, like this evening's honorees, in recognition of their service to the Church, unusual labors and achievements, support of the Holy See, and the good example set in their communities and country. The honor that Pope Francis has bestowed upon them, the Grand Cross, is the highest rank of the Order of St. Gregory the Great. By all standards, this is an exceptional award, especially that it is bestowed upon a couple. You can practically count with the fingers of one hand the U.S. citizens who have received this honor in the past 25 years or so. Most of them had already been a member of the St. Gregory in one of the lower ranks before being promoted, like in the case of Gary, who was already bestowed the rank of Knight Commander in 2000 and was elevated to the rank of Knight Commander with a Silver Star in 2007. And that's why the conferral of the Grand Cross upon Meredith is all the more exceptional, because he is honored with the highest rank of the order without going through the ranks, as we would say. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a list of 30 or so merits of Gary and Meredith to deserve this honor, but that would keep us the whole evening here. So I would just like to mention 3. First, Gary and Meredith founded the Pave the Way Foundation in 2002 as a non-sectarian organization whose mission is to end malevolent use of religion by initiating positive gestures between the faiths and other organizations. And true to its name, the foundation has paved and continues to pave the way in creating foundations of trust among peoples of different religions and cultures. The Pave the Way Foundation seeks to embody the message of charity and responsibility for every human being, common to all faiths, beliefs, and the code of human behavior. The foundation promotes dialogue of all faiths and cultures. In particular, Meredith and Gary have spearheaded initiatives that have enriched the relations between the Holy See and the State of Israel, and between the Catholic Church and the Jewish people and religion. Second, Meredith and Gary have done or have been doing and continues to do, have been commissioning and continues to commission historical research on the role of Pope Pius XII during the Second World War, in particular in relation to the Holocaust. With the evidence based on historical facts, Gary and Meredith have been defenders of Pope Pius XII. Third, Gary and Meredith contribute a lot. They contributed a lot, and they have greatly collaborated in the acquisition of a part of the Bodmer Papyri, which is now conserved in the Vatican Library.